A new expansion is fast approaching in Gods Unchained. Today, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about it. We have 56 new cards, 7 of those are legendaries and they have exclusive Mythic Variants. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about them. I'm going to tell you how the meta is going to shape up as soon as the new expansion hits, so let's immediately dive in. The new expansion is called Fallen Age. First, I really want us to focus on the legendary cards that are coming to the game. Every domain is getting a new legendary card, and they are really going to shape up the meta. Let's start with one of my favorite cards. Adusa for 6 mana in the Death domain has Frontline and a very unique afterlife to reduce your opponent's max health to 15. That is an immediate counter to the Heal Light archetype that has been very dominant in the last sets, so that is going to be a very interesting interaction. The stats of this card are very decent for its mana cost, so this is a card that is going to definitely see play and is going to be very useful against both the Heal Light and the God domain that we're going to talk about in a little bit. Nature is getting a very interesting legendary, Cressida the Anomalous. This card has the Wild Tribe, it has Overkill, it has a very unique ability that's going to come in handy in a lot of situations. It has a rare ability that says gain the strength and health of the strongest creature in either void, then obliterate it. So that is going to be very handy against some death decks. So you can play that on turn 3 or 4 to obliterate some of your opponent's strong dragons with some very strong afterlife abilities. For 3 mana, that card can be played as a very strong body on the board, so I think this is a must-have, especially since it is wild. It is going to synergize very well with a lot of the dominant nature decks that already have a very strong place in the meta. So Cressida, big thumbs up from me. This card is going to see a lot of play. Next up we have War, and this is my personal favorite card of the set. War gets a legendary relic with 10 durability, but it cannot attack, and it says that after you summon a dragon, you give your dragon +1 health and your god gets +2 health. Then you lose 1 durability from your relic. The first really interesting thing that I want to see in game, so is this card going to be able to increase your god's max health, because otherwise it could have said heal your god for 2. So maybe the war domain is going to get more max health, and this is why Adusa is going to be very interesting as a counter to the dragons. We're going to see a lot more dragon cards. The war dragon decks are going to have a place in the meta, I think, right now, so that's a very interesting card with a lot of potential. The mage domain gets an Atlantean legendary for 3 mana, draw the Ruin Rider, with a new keyword coming into play called Raid, draw a spell, reduce its mana cost by 2 and give it Wither. So we get both new keywords from this card. The stats are decent for 3 mana, that is going to synergize very well in the Atlantean decks. I definitely see this card seeing play in the Atlantean decks, but not only that, for some tempo magic control decks this card is also going to be very interesting. The Deception domain is going to get Gerhard, the Shadow Ranger. For 3 mana, this guy is hidden for 1 turn, and if you activate the Raid keyword, you add a copy of the last spell played to your hand and you give it Wither. The Deception domain is now getting a mechanic to duplicate spells that you played on this turn. So this is going to be very interesting with Mayday decks or even some combo decks. This opens up a whole lot of possibilities. It's really interesting that this is a Viking card, and I want to test out if we're going to have some tribal synergies with this card. Definitely a really interesting card. We're going to cook up some really cool meme decks with that one. The Light domain is going to get Cyan or Cyan. This card has Protected and a unique ability. The stats are not that good because it is very weak to some removal spells like Blight Bomb or Light's Levi. But the ability is really cool, and it synergizes really well with other light cards already existing or that are coming in this set. After a friendly creature loses Protected, gain +2/+2. The first thing that comes to mind is the Worship card. If you manage to pair this up with a Worship card, for 3 mana this is going to be a formidable body on the board. It's pretty straightforward. This doesn't come with some really cool or hidden mechanics that you have to think a lot about. This is going to be an interesting card in light tempo decks and mid-range decks. And the final legendary card that we're getting this expansion is going to be Scrappy. For 8 mana, this card has 6/6, 3 armor, Overkill and Ward, and once you play it from your hand, it attacks all enemy creatures with Overkill, mind you, and then it gains +2/+2 for each creature that died. So this card kind of reminds me of Lockhart. For 8 mana the stats are decent. It is obviously going to be an amazing card in Sealed, where maintaining a board is crucial. I'm not sure if it's going to see play in regular ranked, because for 8 mana and no tribe it's not a very easy combo to pull off, but I definitely see it having a lot of value in formats or Sealed. The new legendary cards are also going to have unique 1 out of 1 Mythic Variants. This time around the aesthetic is very different to previous expansions. The cards are absolutely amazing in my opinion. We have a unique border with spears and weapons coming out of it. In my opinion, it's absolutely amazing. And each card has unique art that really emphasizes its role in the lore. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. My personal Mythic variant this time around is Scrappy, the Wasteland Hydra. I think that this artwork is absolutely amazing, especially here with the castle coming out with some chef's kiss. But how are we going to be able to get those Mythic variants? This time around we have a different approach. 4 Mythic variants are going to be dropping from Fallen Age packs, and they're going to be guaranteed to drop from the Fallen Age packs. We're not going to have any raffles or any sort of that stuff. Scrappy and Dragon Shard Plate Mythic variants are going to be found exclusively in the shiny packs, while Gerhard and Cyan can be found in any pack. You can find the drop rates of the packs in the link that I dropped in the description of this video. What's really cool, for Cressida and Draw, these Mythic variants are going to be dropped exclusively from sealed packs. If you get 7 wins, the sealed grind is going to be real. And finally, at Dusa, the TLDR is that we don't know how we're going to be able to collect that Mythic variant yet. But something tells me it's going to be through a tournament, like we did for the previous set. I'm going to take this opportunity now to flex my 4 Mythic variants that I collected from the Tower of Dread set, and I can tell you that the artwork was absolutely amazing. And I'm really happy to see that this set also focuses very highly on the Mythic variants. That is really cool, and I want to give a big thumbs up. This is going to be it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you think about the new expansion. Are you going to be getting some packs? Are you going to be getting some of those cards in your existing decks? What are you cooking up? Let me know, I really want to hear, because I love to theory craft in Gods Unchained. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you all very soon with some more news, so stay tuned and be on the lookout for some upcoming giveaways. Thank you so much for watching guys, this has been Chris, and I'll see you all very soon.